Welcome back. Just giving a little story time. Sorry about my aged face. This is the process of life. This is what's going on. But I don't know. I'm just looking at the lens right now. Anyways, to get into this story, this is a story. I don't want to make it too long. I want to make it quick, but educational or historical. Give a little history lesson. Okay, so this is about the time I got robbed in McDonald's. Okay, so I was about 14 years old. This is around 2004, around a time where it was just normal, where people got robbed, moved to, mugged, approached. This was just a different era where people went around taking phones, taking your money, taking your bus pass, your travel card. This was just normal. I can honestly say no money's ever been taken off me, but I've been approached probably between the ages of maybe 6 to 19, or maybe the latest was 21. I mean, as I got when I became an adult, that's when it was down to it was more serious. Let's just say that. There were more serious encounters. Before it was more of a guy's outnumbered you, just trying to bully you. It's just one of those things. Now, I wouldn't say I physically got bullied. I was quite big for my age. I grew quite quick. So I grew up in a place in South London, Brixton. If you know, you know. Went to a school in Battersea. So we took this bus called the 345. So this 345 started in South Kensington. But I don't know because I hardly went that far on the bus. It was just a long bus. And it took us roughly about an hour to get to school. So taking this bus, even take getting to this bus stop from school. We didn't come from Battersea, all of us. We all came from different areas, yeah. So coming from different areas, there was different rules. You knew you couldn't mess around too much. You was lucky if you had friends in your school who came from the local area, which I did have some friends. So, but if you're not known in that area, anyone could be a victim. It was just one of those days. You could have a bad day. You could be a guy that was known, and that will backfire on you. And if you're not known, it just doesn't matter. Anyways, we got on the 345 from Battersea. We wasn't going to the McDonald's in Clapham Junction, which is basically Battersea. It's like the shopping part of Battersea. We wasn't going there. That was a no go. Okay, you had guys posted outside that McDonald's, just like the one in Brixton, maybe the one in Peckham. I was from Brixton, so I just didn't go Peckham. That was just. I mean, unless I was linking a girl or something like that. But, anyways, I was in year 9, year 8, year 9, so I wasn't a bad kid at this time. I wasn't relatively innocent, but being approached was just a normal thing. It's not something you went to your mother to talk about. So anyway, history lesson over. We're on the bus. We decide to go to the McDonald's in Clapham. It's not really. It's not really that noisy. It's not that much people. Clapham, it's like a rich area, but you have large pockets of social housing. So in London, the rich live with the social housing. I don't want to say poor because let's just say government funded. Yeah, like where I came from. Now the two friends I was with, let's call them J and C. Keep their names private. They came from Clapham, so it made sense to get off the bus at Clapham. It wasn't that far away from where I came from. I went to primary school there, probably one of the worst primary schools in South London. Seriously, that was like kids were just destined to go to prison in that school. Sorry to say that, really. Even though most of them didn't go to prison, okay, it's just a joke. So we get off, going to the McDonald's. It's quiet. We go towards the counter. As usual, I don't have money on me. I wasn't one. I had free school meals. Okay, so I go to the counter, not counter. I go to the counter with my voucher, and I decide to go to the toilet. So I go upstairs, go to the toilet, do as you usually do, urinating, whistling, blah blah blah. It doesn't take long until the door just bursts open, and there's three guys who approach. Well, not approach, but let's just say three guys walk in, and being where I'm from, it didn't really phase me. I just thought maybe they'd just come up to smoke weed or roll up some weed and then go out and smoke it. Nah, to my detriment, they were there for me because I could feel a shadow just approaching. And as I'm doing my business, I can watch a guy, I can feel a guy watching me in a creepy way, like right next to me. And I'm sort of like this. Oh, okay, they're here for me because there's just one guy just not even waiting for me to finish. Like, at least let me have the decently the decency to put my piece away, zip up and turn around. No, no, there was no decency for this. So I just quickly squeeze out the rest of the urine and just put my stuff back in my zip. You know, I think I even forgot to wash my hands because obviously straight after well, they were there, isn't it? So I turn around. There's a small toilet. It's three of them straight away. What have you got for me? Money, phones, like blah blah blah. Empty your pockets. I just wasn't a guy to empty my pockets. So they go through my pockets, no problem. We'll go through your pockets. I got a certain pride, even though I can't say I was terrified. This was a normal thing. Anyways, as they're going through my pockets, I realize I've got a seasonal pass, which is quite a rare thing. You get it from the council. They give it to your school. It's not. It's not something that everyone has. It's given to poor children. But I have this seasonal pass that lasts. It's a travel card that lasts for. Well, it's only for the bus, by the way. It's not for the train. It lasts for 3 months. So my mom went crazy because obviously I didn't tell her what happened. So she went crazy when I said I lost it. So before they take it, the door bursts open again. But this time it's my friend Jay, and obviously the world stops for him because he's just like, and they're like, and then they approach him. It's like, what you got for me? Blah, 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 blah. And then I don't know. I must have said something, like leave him alone. I must have said something because they turned back to me, and then as they turned back to me, because I said something. I don't know if I was trying to defend it, like, oh, leave him, leave him. They turned back to me, and then straight away I just hear a door close. And before they could process what happened, basically my friend Jay ran into the cubicle. And when I say ran, it was like a two-step run. It's a small ass toilet. He runs to the toilet, locks himself in. Then they turn back to me. I mean, they weren't so phased by it. They were just like, all right, kudos to him. Like, quick planning. He's in the cubicle. We have a time limit. What have you got? So they're just searching me. They take the seasonal pass off me. They're just like, oh, yo, look at this. It's 3 months. Yeah, I'm obviously thinking about the punishment I'm going to get from my mother. This is already a punishment. Like, my pride is. I was in a good mood. If I remember, it was like a summertime. I don't remember it being cold. It's mad that I remember that, but I don't remember it being cold. So it must have been summertime or springtime, something like this, yeah, because it was not getting dark at this time. So they're all happy that they've got this seasonal pass. There's only one guy who's setting pace. When you're getting moved to by multiple people, which was three guys, I think they were like 2 years older than me, or 3 years older. I didn't see that they were going to school, so maybe they got kicked out of school. They was going to what was called center, or they were in the first year of college. I don't know. I honestly don't care. So it's always one guy who's setting pace, let's just say. Yes, sorry if my elbows are ashy. It is what it is. Yeah. Anyways, one of them was setting pace, as we call it. He was, you know, head honcho. So I guess it was his. The others are trying to go through my pockets, trying to see if there's money. They look at my watch. They realize I'm just a poor guy. Like, I've got a watch that's making my arm turn green. Like, it's just not looking good for me, basically. They take the little vouchers I have for, one double cheeseburger. So I don't even get to have a free double cheeseburger. How were you, like, these guys were goal oriented. Like, if they had a different focus in life, they would be great businessmen. Because they're all looking at the vouchers, seeing when it's expired, seeing, the rules, how to get it. I'm just like, damn. I'm happy I didn't have money on me. That's another thing. Money's never been taken on me. I've been approached probably 100, 200 times. Whenever I had money, it was in my balls, on under my sock. When I said it was in my sock, sometimes I'll be running. I feel the money on my toes. I know it sounds dirty, yeah, but if if you was lucky enough to get any money, would you risk it? If you knew this was like just a normal occurrence in life, would you even risk it? No, I wouldn't risk it for a biscuit, because I wanted a biscuit. So, anyways, they do what they do. They make it quick. They run out, and obviously, well, I wait for a little while, and then I forget that Jay's Jay is still in the cubicle. He's still in the. I'm like, Jay, they're gone. He's like, I know. Let me finish. He was actually doing what he had to do. Anyway, he comes out quickly. He was just like, "Oh, why did I come into the toilet?" And I was just like, "I don't know. Was you trying to protect me?" He's like, "No, I really wanted to go." I mean, if he was trying to protect me, respect for that. But it didn't seem that way, because the look on his face was just like, "What have I just walked into?" Yeah, that's just one of many stories. That was a long walk home, by the way. A very long walk home, because I had no money to take the bus, and I had no phone at the time. If I did have a phone, that would have been taken off me. So I walked home from Clapham to Brixton, wherever. When I look back, it's weird because I feel very old. That was like 2004. This is around the time where teenagers were getting stabbed. Teenagers are still getting stabbed, but it was a different time. It was about areas, postcodes, um, who you knew, what crew you was affiliated with, or gang. It was dangerous times, but it was just normal for us. So not until I was outside of that environment, I realized that that wasn't normal. Like, for you to be numb to that sort of, some people call it traumatic. I didn't see it as traumatic because I had already been through the trauma from 6, 7 years old, just going to the corner shop. So this was just more like, oh man, this happened again. It was almost like Everybody Hates Chris, the episodes. It was just normal. So, yeah, that was a nice walk home. Never forget that walk home. I was so thirsty. It must have been summer. Must have, because I remember being so thirsty. I was, I was thirsty. I remember before I got home, there was this primary school where the gate wasn't so big, so I could jump over the gate. It's different now, but I could jump over the gate and go to the water fountain. I remember doing that. Anyways, I hope I didn't bore you with these stories. If you want to hear more, I'm gonna give more stories because I'm an old man now. I feel like an old man. There's many stories, many of these great positive stories. Anyways, peace out.